Hello guys, how are you everyone? Welcome to the second video of the Laravel framework. So the second video is about routes. So I'm gonna explain to you the routes. How can you use the routes to configure your website? And in the previous video we talked about like the installation of Laravel. So we install the first app Laravel now. So it's installed as you say in the server, as you say in the server web server. So it's launched in here as first app. So basically, guys, what I'm going to explain to you today is how to use routes and what is the different type of routes. So let's get started. Let's go to VS Code. So there is my routes in here folder. I'm gonna explain to you this folder. There is API routes, there is channels, there is a console, and there is a web. So my video is about the web because this API, it's all about the API. You know, we have an API. So about the web, I'm going to explain to you this file. So there's the router where can you register web routes for your application. Okay. This route slash is the main route. It's connected with the view blade welcome blade.php. It's that one that you see in your screen, guys. Okay, I'm gonna create a new route in here to explain to you guys. So let's start with the route, for example, route get. Let's start with a get route in here. Let's just use, for example, a test. Let's use a test in here, guys, without any parameters. So let's return hello. I'm gonna save this. So this route basically is a type get. You will get this slash test and return hello. Okay. So let's try here, guys. Let's click on test. And gives me hello. Okay, guys, we can add more specifics in here. For example, this test, or we can like do it like this user, for example, as you say in websites, and there is my username. For example, let's call that one username. Username. This is with this I'll call it, it's like a variable. Username is a variable in here. Okay, guys. So I'm gonna use my username in here. Username. So my username, I'm gonna return my username. Basically, very easy. So I will get the username, pass it through the function, and return it to the front end. Now let's check this out, guys. Let's go to user. For example, my profile is OZ, so it will give me OZ password. For example, test will give me test. For example, I'm gonna hi. Give me hi. Yazan, for example, it will give me Yazan. So it's like basically get the ID or the username in my route. Okay, this is the first type. This is the second type. So there is also guys, there is how can you, for example, use your terminal to see which routes you have in your website. Basically, you go to the command in here, you write like PHP artisan route list. This is the command to get all the routes on your website. So there is basically a route of API with a user. This is my route that I created now. User slash username as a get method. There's a get method in here. So we can see basically all the routes in here in your website. Okay, that's great. Let's use this and let's create a new route. For example, let's create, for example, a route. There is also route resources, guys. So this route is basically it's used for to create a resources route contain a post method, a get method, delete method, update method. It's all about all the functions, all the methods contain these resources. For example, if you create this method as a resources, for example, let's save this and let's check this out in here, and let's click on route. Okay, actually there is a yeah, of course, because user controller it's not existed. Let's create that controller user in here in order to to launch my command. For example, this is because user controller, it doesn't exist, because you should connect this route to a controller. Okay, let's create a new controller with PHP Artisan. Let's use Artisan controller. Make a controller, guys, and let's give the name of the controller as user controller, guys. The controller is created successfully. You can just click from here the controller. So the controller is ready in here. So let's use my command as route list. So route list, it tells me that there is no user controller in here. What's going on exactly? Maybe the name is such difficult. Yeah. It's not the same name, guys. Okay, let's come back to my route, guys. Let's run again. Reflection class user controller does not exist. Yeah. I should import my class in here. Import the class in the such things in here. Okay. I'm sorry. You should import your class at the top of your routes. Okay. Let's route list. Here we go, guys. So we have the user routes as a get. So to create a new user, we have the get to get the specific user, and you have the put, to update your user. You have the delete to delete your user, and you have the get for edit method to whatever you want to do with the user, edit some information of the user. Okay, guys, that's great. So let's try this, guys. Let's try to do this in a specific thing. It's automatically connected to the user/create. For example, if you go in here, user/create it, and it automatically connected to the user.create. It's connected to the user controller and the method create. If you go to your controller in here and you want to connect your controller with the routes, you should create a function in here, function, and with the name create. Create. And let's, for example, return, guys. Yeah, it's like sorry, it's a public function create. So let's return. This is create. This is a create page. I'm not using I'm not going to use the views now, but I will do this. Okay, guys. So let's try to do this and go to user/create. So this is the page of create page, as you say, guys, here. Now, if you want to access, for example, to the show method, you should do this. Go to the show method users and create a function with a show. But basically, this is the basic method. But if you want to do this, you can just create a controller with all resources, as I can say in here. Maybe you can do this using resources in here. Let's create another controller with the name test controller, and let's add that -er, and let's go to my controller, and it will give you all the methods automatically set up in your controller. You should just like fill your functions, destroy, update, all this stuff. Great, good. Let's come back to my routes. So basically what we should learn in here, that you have the possibility to create a get methods, and post methods. You can also create a post method like this, post. You can also create a update as you can say, like delete method, guys, and you can create a resource method that contains all the methods. Okay, guys. One of the other things, guys, is when you create, for example, let's create a route method with get a name. Maybe, for example, we specify that we have this route user and get user in the user controller and the method index. we can give a name to our route. For example, here we give a name of user, so we can call this one from the view or from the other controllers with this name. So this route will have the name, for example, let's save this one and let's run again our route list. There is a problem in here. Yeah, it doesn't exist, this function. Let's create it instead, and let's do this as index, guys. Let's come back to my user controller. Yeah, it's all about this. Let's run again my route list. What's going on? Yeah, user controller does not exist. User controller does not exist. User controller does not exist. Yeah. That's my user controller, guys. There is my index. User controller. What's going on? Something is wrong. Route list. Really important, my controller, guys. Let's come back to user controller. There's my index function. What's going on? Class user controller does not exist. Class user controller. Let's come back to the web. Maybe I'm not using the right one. So that get method. Try to do this in a different way. Let's come back to my old one. So we're just gonna check if it's still working with me. This one. Yeah, it's working. But okay, guys, what I want to tell you exactly is that when we have like a user create, for example, it has a name that user creates. You can call it with this name, whatever you are. For example, if you go to the controller, you want to call this one, you should like just do something like that. You return, for example, let's use a redirection. Let's use a redirection action without any value, without any stuff. Let's use with a route. And you can, guys, specify the name of the route. For example, here let's use user.create. For example, it will return you exactly, redirect to the user create. So it will return you to this route, user create, because this is the name of the route. Okay, so the routes here, guys, we've learned the get, the resources, and how can you create a new controller, and how can you check off the lists of routes. And thank you so much, all of you guys. I hope you understand this video, and thank you so much, and see you